Bobbi, how are you?
Nice to see
Nice
you.
to see you. I'm Hakeem Dubois, founder of Decade Lifestyle. Today we're going to find out what it's like to walk in the day in the life of Dr. Bobbi's shoes, celebrity dentist extraordinaire. How are you today?
I'm excited. I can't wait. Let's get started.
Let's go. So Dr. Bobbi, tell us, what is our first location going to be?
So, the first location is going to be my main office,
Okay.
which is in East Flatbush, Brooklyn,
Okay, great.
on Utica Avenue.
Keeping it all in Brooklyn.
Yes, for the most part, right now. Yes, definitely. So,
All right, let's go.
this office has 3 operatories.
Okay.
2 of them, this one, which we call room 1.
Room 1?
This is room 2.
Okay.
So these 2 operatories have plumbing. What that means is they have, they're directly connected to the compressor. They have air, I'll show you. They have air and water, right? So when we place braces, those are 2 things that we need, right? Suction, air, and water.
And why do we need
we need that? Because we need a dry environment when we're placing the braces, or else they won't stay.
Oh, okay.
All right, if there's too much salivation or there's too much moisture, the braces won't stay where they're supposed to, right? So when we're initially placing them, we need operatories that have plumbing.
Okay.
Once the braces are on and nothing's loose and we don't have to replace anything and we're just changing wires or just regular general maintenance of braces, we can use the middle room. See this little small chair here? And we're going to compare offices, I'll show you.
Okay.
So we use a small chair. There's no plumbing for that chair, but say someone comes in and they have nothing loose, whatever, they can go in there, we can change their wires and get them out.
Good.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Right. This is our consultation room. So when people come in for the first time, we use this room to take the x-rays, which are different than general dentistry x-rays. These are panoramic x-rays and supplemental x-rays,
Okay.
because with orthodontics, we have to see the entire bone of the face and the head.
Yeah.
Right. We can't just zoom in
So
on
you can't really go
individual
off their
teeth.
dental records either.
No, we need our own set
You need your own
of
set.
records. Yes, we
Okay.
need specific x-rays for orthodontics.
And why is that? Does the structure change over time, or
No,
what's the reason?
the reason is we're focused on the tooth and the root and how it moves within the bone.
Okay.
So the dental x-rays, you can't really see that too much. The x-rays that we take, we get a complete picture of the entire mouth, right and left,
Okay.
and we get a complete picture of the head
Of the
from the
skull.
side. Yeah,
Okay.
we need to be able to see. Because when you're moving teeth, you move hard tissue and soft tissue. So you're also moving lips. You're also moving noses. Like you're changing, in some cases, the proportions of the face when you're moving teeth.
I've heard that in the
Yeah.
past. I've heard sometimes. I remember when I was getting my my wisdom tooth in the back taken out.
Same x-ray.
And I really didn't. I really didn't want. I really didn't want to do it. Even my mother said. She said, "Hakeem, you really don't need to do it. Don't listen to what they tell you." But I know, right? It's crazy. But I got it removed.
Just one?
At one, I got it removed, and I think it was either my mother or the dentist that says that the same thing that you said, that it can reshape
Your
entire face,
And your jaw.
and that really is something that stuck
Stuck
with
with
me
you.
forever. I'm like,
No,
like
it's
what?
true.
I don't want to move any teeth anymore.
No, it's very true.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely a deep science and physics behind it. So.
Let's go into this room and check it out.
All right. So when people come in for their initial consultation, sit down, Mr. Hakeem.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to see me today. I should have my doctor's coat on.
Oh man, I'm gonna be a patient today. Hopefully no drills.
When they first come in, of course, there's a chart. So when they first come in, they fill out paperwork or whatever,
Yeah.
all your background and your medical history. I have office policies, of course, that everyone has to sign to before they get in this chair.
Yeah.
And then I ask them, of course, what is it that you don't like about your teeth? Right? Have you ever seen that show, Nip Tuck?
I've
Long
seen
time
it
ago.
once or twice, yeah.
You're like, well, what do you not like about yourself? Like, it's like one of those type of consultations where I'm like,
Yeah.
what don't you like about your teeth?
Yeah.
So I let them explain to me what they don't like, which is most important, especially if they're adults, right?
Yeah.
And then I observe them, and I kind of make the treatment plan around both. So say I have a patient that comes in and they have a huge space between their front teeth, right?
Yeah, gaps.
But when I ask them what the issue is, if they don't mention that huge space,
You leave it.
I don't leave it, but I might say, oh, well, how do you feel about that after the fact? But I take into consideration that that's not a big problem.
Most
for them.
people don't like gaps. But
Well,
I've met
sometimes
one or two that
they want
actually
you to keep it.
embrace their gap and
Yes.
they like it.
Yes.
I've met some people with really amazing teeth. They just have a gap.
Yeah.
And they embrace it. They got
Yes.
over it. They're older. They don't really care about it anymore.
I get that.
But
on a
that's a
weekly basis.
minority from my. What about you? I mean, you're
No,
against-
for me, because
yeah.
I see people that want me to move teeth all the time, so I see
Yeah.
it more often.
Okay.
I see it more often.
You
So,
see more from that people want to keep it?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. They want to keep the space, or they might want to just close it slightly. Because it's in their family. So
Yeah,
they don't
yeah,
they
it does
wanna
run in the family.
have that resemblance, exactly.
It runs in half my family. I'm glad I didn't get it. I'm not really too fond of the gap, but you know, it runs in half my family. My grandmother had 7 kids, and
Okay.
half of her kids got the gap. My mother didn't get it, thank God.
Okay.
But you know,
Yeah.
I don't mind getting certain things done to my teeth, but I'm not a huge fan of braces.
Right.
I see my cousin grow up with braces.
Well, I don't think anyone's a fan of braces.
Yeah. But braces
I feel
are
like
different today than they were before.
if you really needed them,
Yeah,
then you would become a
you
fan.
become a fan.
You know, it's like
You're a
either
fan
you
of the,
wear
of
them-
the outcome.
Of the outcome.
Not the
Exactly.
duration
Right.
of while you have it. You know what I mean?
True.
But
True.
you know, back then it was different. You had to have it forever. Today is a different story.
It is much
you can have it
different.
a lot less.
And they're a lot smaller.
Exactly.
So, right. So I'd say about maybe actually over 10 years ago, you saw those bands that she had.
Yes,
How
yes.
how they're like rings, like a ring for your
I see.
finger. You know how those are like a ring for your so a ring
Yeah.
for your tooth. That's how braces started out. They were rings that thick, what you just saw,
Yeah.
around every
Every
tooth.
tooth, and then the rubber bands. I've seen that.
And the rubber
before.
bands and the wires. That's where the
And then I've
term
seen the
trailer
retainer.
tracks or train
The
tracks.
train
came from.
tracks.
That's where that term came from.
Then now you have the Invisalign, right?
Now, well, before Invisalign, then we have the edgewise appliances, which are these. So these are the small brackets that go on your teeth individually, and they do the same thing as the molar bands would do, as the bands that you just saw around
Yes,
your tooth.
yes.
So the system has changed a little bit, but it looks a little bit better if
A lot better.
you're ready to do the metal,
Yeah,
right?
a lot better.
Right. So
They don't cut your gums anymore.
They don't. Well. It
Some of them
depends. It just depends. It all depends on how well you take care of them.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Invisalign,
Yes,
right?
yes.
This is not Invisalign. These
better?
are. It depends on the case.
What is your favorite kind of braces to put on? Is it Invisalign or is it something else?
It actually depends on the case because everyone's not a candidate for Invisalign. Everyone's not a candidate for clear braces either, which is what I was about to tell you. These are
Explain.
clear braces. So
Okay.
these braces, the mechanics behind these braces are the same as the metal braces. The
Okay.
only difference is that they're clear.
Okay.
Okay. Same mechanics, positioned the same way.
It's a lot cleaner.
Same, right. And it
Cleaner
just it looks clear,
It looks
but
a lot better.
what I also try to stress to my patients is people still see these. Like even though these look like they have colors on them, we can take the colors off, whatever, it's clear.
Okay.
But
What was the reason for the colors originally? I
my-
always wanted to know. Like
Well,
it looked
the
like
kids love
a mouth of Skittles before. It was just like red, green.
no, the kids love them. The kids
Oh, the
love
kids
them.
love them,
I
okay.
have some adult patients that
Still
will
like-
just yeah. I mean, as soon as they do one color, like they're like, you know what? And I'm in these Flatbush too.
Yeah.
So like if they do one color and then they're like, oh well, I have a dance this weekend, or I got a party I'm going to. So I'm going to see Marshall. I'm going to put on my Jamaican color. So they do like red and they'll do green and yellow on their teeth. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
For the viewers that don't know and the readers that don't know, East Flatbush is a huge Caribbean
Caribbean
population.
Yeah. So we'll do that. But you said Invisalign.
Yeah.
So,
Is that like top of the line? When
It's
it comes
case sensitive.
cosmetically, like it looks the
Cosmetically,
best.
yes.
It looks the best.
yes.
Okay.
You basically do not see them.
Yeah.
But the problem is when people Google Invisalign or they Google clear aligners or they see it on television, they think it can apply to every case, and it cannot. It cannot. I do sell it to the people that I feel would be candidates for it, but I'd say about over 50% of the cases that I see are not candidates for Invisalign.
So what is a candidate for Invisalign?
So
explain.
Minor cases, like cases that I would consider minor.
Okay.
I really wouldn't recommend, and this is my opinion now, we're talking about my opinion, I would not recommend Invisalign for extraction cases where you have to have teeth pulled. Start them with the metal braces or the clear braces,
Okay.
right? But once I've closed the extraction spaces, then I'll give them Invisalign to finish them up.
Okay.
Because they're anxious to get the braces off, you know? But then
Yeah.
again, that's very costly because this will be like $6,000-7,000.
So you're paying for basically two
Twice.
sets of braces. Paying this twice, double.
But it happens.
But
it happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think people, especially cosmetically, they'll go to whatever lengths they have to
Depending
to
on
look
what they
good.
do.
I mean, everyone wants to look their best.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
So
We
that's
want
where
them
you
to look
benefit.
their best. Yeah. Well, we definitely want them to look
Yeah.
their best. If they have it, then
So
definitely.
Invisalign is not really for severe cases. It's more of a cosmetic thing for minor cases.
In my opinion, yes.
Okay. All right,
I have
great.
to throw that in there. Because
Yeah.
there are some general
Yeah.
dentists that'll just give patients
What they
Invisalign,
want.
right? And
And
then they get
that
stuck
goes
and they
for
call
all.
me.
I think that goes for all medical practices. You have some that won't necessarily give the patient what they necessarily need,
Right.
but they'll give them what they want just to make them happy.
It happens.
And but there should be more honest doctors such as yourself.
How about we get started with you? Let's
Yes, let's do it. I'm scared. No drilling, please.
All right, you're all set up in here. Rosie, ready? All right. Once we bleach your teeth, your enamel rods are going to be wide open. So,
Really?
yes.
So what is
So
that?
if they're already sensitive,
Yeah.
and then we open your enamel rods after bleaching, they're going to be extra sensitive. Like you might not even be able to get through the bleaching process.
Really?
I've had that happen.
Really? And then what happens? What happens?
And then I stop it to take it off, and then I have
what
them-
like hurts them or something?
It hurts them, right? So this is why I'm explaining to you right now. So I think you'll be fine though. No,
Okay.
because if I ask you if your teeth are sensitive to cold and you don't say yes right away, that normally means that they're probably not. Because you know when your teeth
No,
are
you know,
sensitive to cold.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
you know.
It has
that.
to be like extremely ice cold stuff. Like
Okay,
a regular
so no,
cold
you're-
beverage, it
you're
doesn't
fine.
get anything.
You're
But
fine.
so
I'm gonna walk you through the process.
Okay. All right.
So go ahead and sit down.
Okay.
What she's gonna do first is she's gonna place some cotton
Okay.
to make sure that your lips are away from your teeth. Okay.
Okay.
Keep in mind that anything the bleach touches will turn it white. So
Really?
yep. Then the next.
Like what?
Why do you seem nervous? Calm down. Let me explain. And then she's going to place a barrier on your gums to protect it from the bleach. It's almost
Your
impossible.
gums can be white, turn white.
It's almost impossible for the bleach not to touch your gums, so it might touch your gums a little bit. If it does and it turns your gums white just a little bit, it's gonna go back to normal within 30 minutes.
Oh, really?
Right? Only thing that's gonna stay white is your teeth. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So don't worry about that. But we do need to put the protective barrier on.
Now,
there
what
because
are
that's important.
what are the precautions for this process?
So, home care instructions. So once it's done, once we're done,
Yeah.
you're gonna rinse before she does your build-up, as we're gonna call it, the
Yeah,
bonding or
build-up.
whatever. You need to basically take into consideration for the next 48 hours that you can't put anything in your mouth that would stain a white shirt. So if you
so sauces.
any sauces, curry, red wine,
ketchup.
liquid drinks, things like that, you don't want
Liquid
that.
drinks?
Yeah, not liquid
Well-
drinks. I'm sorry, colored drinks.
Oh, just water
Like
then.
soda.
Yeah, I only
right.
drink
you
water
want
anyway.
you want to drink colorless drinks.
Yeah.
Okay. At least for the next 48 hours. Just like I told you before, what people describe as like a shocking feeling when they're speaking.
Yeah.
You might experience that for the next 48
Shocking
hours.
feeling? Like what?
Meaning it's like like if something cold hits your teeth, you might. It's like a shocking type feeling.
Really?
Not painful, but it's gonna feel cold. Like if you're in a room full of ice, or if you're like biting into an ice, like that's how it might feel for the next 48 hours.
So in essence, this particular procedure takes a small coat of enamel off of the teeth.
It doesn't take any enamel off.
No? Oh,
It
but
bleaches the outer layer of your
it
enamel.
bleaches the outer layer
Right.
of the enamel.
Yes.
So it weakens it slightly. So it's better to, I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just saying-
Temporarily, I
so
guess you could
it
say,
weakens it slightly, and it's I guess important that you maintain and upkeep
I
your
wouldn't say
teeth,
it-
so you
it
don't
ex-
have to keep
It
continue.
exposes it. It
Okay.
doesn't necessarily weaken it.
Okay.
It makes it a little vulnerable. So you have to be a little gentle with
Yeah.
it. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
That doesn't weaken it, but it's like it's totally open. So you just
Yeah.
want to be very careful. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Great. All right, so we just finished getting my teeth bleached by Dr. Bobbi. As you can see, it's visibly whiter. Definitely one of the best in the industry. Now, we're on our way to Kings County Hospital, where she teaches other dentists how to do general dentistry. Take a walk with us.
If there's anyone that can talk about my career, it's this man right here.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, Dr. Julius Berger. I've heard some wonderful things about you from Dr. Bobbi, one of which you've known her since she first started, or even before she started.
Dates. We're just going to take a long time.
We don't even need to use dates, but from her earlier days, before she even started, and how was she during that time?
Dr. Peterson, Bobbi, as we all affectionately call her, is one of the really quintessential people that we've had the pleasure of training her. She started in the general practice residency, where you learn to do everything in general practice. And
that was here.
That was here. And there was something about her. I must say that orthodontic programs are probably the most difficult programs to get into in the United States, out of every specialty. And she had this extra, which made her qualified. And not was she a great resident, but she really had a dynamic personality, a caring person, artistic. You know, dentistry is also artistry.
Yeah.
It requires that. Right. You know,
I actually just had something right before here, and it was almost like art. When
it is. You've got to also, to be a great dentist, you also have to be a very good artist.
Yeah.
Have a great eye, and Bobbi has all of that. And listen, that's why she's successful. She's a wonderful person. She really gives a lot of her time here. She helps a lot of kids. We have a very active cleft palate program, which Bobbi's involved in, also treating the cleft palate kids at the hospital here. Let me just show you a couple of, these are cases that, which actually just show what cleft palates are.
Just to explain to our readers, it's called the cleft palate program.
It's where when you are born, the bones do not join each other.
Interesting.
And you have a cleft.
Okay.
And sometimes the cleft is in the back of the mouth, sometimes in the front of the mouth. And these are all young kids that have been treated here at Kings County Hospital over the years. I mean, we have...
Wow. And what were some of the problems here? Can you explain to us?
Initially, when they're born, it's very difficult for them to eat because they have this hole in the mouth. So instead of the food going down the stomach...
Like this here?
Comes out the nose.
Whoa. So the food comes out the nose?
If it's not, unless we make
If
it's not treated. But they have some special nipples, or we make appliances for these kids that will help them eat.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's an unbelievable service.
So it's not really curable, just treatable?
No, it is treatable by surgery.
By surgery, oral surgery.
Yeah, by oral surgery.
And what is that surgery called?
It's cleft palate surgery.
It's called, so cleft palate surgery. That's what it's called.
And it's a phenomenal thing that we do to help these kids and the parents. I mean, just put yourself in parents. They have a baby that they feel something's wrong with them.
Yeah.
You may see a lip that's not joined. If you see, like, what's it called, Save the Children, on TV they have ads about these.
I've seen those.
The kids. And it's amazing what they do for them. With a combination of surgery and orthodontics, they really are cured. And it's just wonderful that we have this ability to do that. And Bobbi is one of the really people who work on the cleft palate and the orthodontics.
And she mentioned that she's not only learned in general dentistry, but a lot of variated specialty dentistry as well. Can you name some of those procedures?
Sure. Well, you know, we have such an active program here.
Yeah.
And we have really a huge number of patients to take care of. What we have here is we have an orthodontic program, and that's in combination with one of the other hospitals, Maimonides Medical Center. We have an oral surgery program here, a 4-year program. We have a 6-year oral surgery program where the oral surgeons also get an MD degree. And we have a pediatric dental residency program here in combination with Maimonides Medical Center. So we have everything covered here, and as a general practitioner, you go through each one of those modalities, which makes you a great orthodontist and great specialist because you learn about each of them. And you have the ability to be probably as good as 90% of the specialists. But it's knowledge that you only gain by doing and seeing things.
Yeah, you have to apply. It's applied science.
I love we have a lot of residents, and I hope to tell my you can read it 100 times, but you have to do it to really understand it.
Exactly.
And I think the residents, I don't mean to be bragging, but I think Kings County has probably in the top 3 in the country residency programs that are available. I mean, we get over 200 applications for 10 spots for the general practice residents.
Dr. Bobbi explained that to me and said it's extremely hard to get into, and she failed the first time, she told me, and then the second time she was successful. And can you tell me about that? Do you remember?
I do remember, yeah. I felt very bad for her. There's a committee that goes through it. It's not made by one person. But she was tenacious about it, decided she was going to try again. And the second time, she convinced everyone that, give her a break and let her try. And she fulfilled every bit that we required and at plus them.
Wow.
And she's just a dynamic person, person who has a smile on her face all the time. Dentistry is not always so easy, and especially cleft palate dentistry or anything we do where there's a child who has a defect that's very visible. It's very hard to see that,
especially for the parent too.
For the parents, and you have to be affected by it.
Yeah.
But it also makes you a better person because you can cure them, and that's what's great. And Bobbi would do it with a smile. But she does regular orthodontics also. I mean, she cares about the case, and she cares about the patients, and she has a great relationship. She's one of the quintessential practitioners around because of the whole person she is. It's not just one. We can all be great at one thing, but to be good at everything and do it with a smile, and do it that you like your patients and they like you, that's really a very positive thing. She's a great person.
She's great. Do you recall at all when the pivotal point in her career when she was opened up her first practice? Do you recall what that was like for her?
I think I don't recall quite what happened, but I do remember that it was nerve-wracking. She used to come and ask me questions, Dr. Berry, what do you think I should do? You can tell I've gone through the through the wars. So I did have hair one time. So I try to give her my best advice, and I think she took most of it and dissected what she could use and what she couldn't use.
She's done pretty well.
She's done terrific. And one of the great things about I take such pride in saying it that all of our residents in this program, regarding which specialty you're in, they do phenomenal. They're great. Yeah. Not only that, they're great educationally. We have people who've left this program who are chairs at other programs throughout the country, not only in dentistry but in medical aspects also.
Were you always in dentistry or
Yeah. When I was in college, I started a company called the New York Scientific Instrument Company. Yeah. I did other things.
What college was this, if you don't mind asking? City College in
Yeah.
Harlem.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a firm believer that there should be free colleges for everybody who to go to.
I agree.
I'm first generation here. My parents came from Germany.
Oh, wow.
And so for me, I have that innate feeling that everybody should have the same right to get an education.
If you don't mind me asking, what did your parents do professionally? Did they influence you at all?
Actually, they did not influence my going into dentistry. Well, I always worked since I'm 13 years old.
Wow.
When I was at City College, I worked for a very famous anatomist called William Etkind. And I used to do he worked at Albert Einstein. I used to work for him like 3 days a week. And he said to me,
what was that like?
It was great. I mean, he was so smart. He's actually listed in Grey's Anatomy, the book.
Oh, wow.
Where his name is in it, so he's a terrific guy. He's no longer alive, I don't think. But what he came to me one day and said, Jules, you should go into dental school, okay? Because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if I actually started my company at that time.
So then he was the inspiration at a young age.
He was the inspiration. Yeah.
That's amazing. Not many people know what they want to do at that age. They think they know, and they have these ideas that, oh yeah, I want to be a fireman, I want to be whatever, but they don't really grow to you know, to do what they thought they wanted to do. But you knew since 13 years old.
I love working with my hands, and I built things for Dr. Etkin that he needed, and he used to have a microscope, and he worked on pituitary glands, and they used to focus, and every 2 minutes he have to refocus. And I said, you know, if you want, I think I can make a machine for you that you can focus with your feet. And I made him a microscope that was focused volume foot control with the gears. And then another guy came to me and says, hey, I need this. Can you do this for me? And that's how I started that small company.
Wow. I mean, this was what year, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that was 1960. I was at City College in 1950, probably 1960, 59 maybe.
59.
Long time ago. Don't give away my age. I was a very young chairman.
In your opinion, from the late 50s, early 60s, how did New York City differ from then and now, in your opinion? I know you can go on for days, but if you can tell us in a few sentences what you think.
I think it's much more crowded now.
Yeah, well, yeah,
and
sure.
People don't have the courtesy when they drive, that's for sure. But I think that New York City is it's the greatest city in the world.
Definitely.
I mean, it's got everything. I like to travel, and I've been around the world. New York is the greatest city, exceeding Paris, London, every city that you can imagine. The world is great. It's a great place. And it's very interesting. I always get along with the people. I feel if you smile at somebody and talk to them, they will answer you and smile back at you. It's funny, I often, when I drive here to Brooklyn, I'll have a car stop next to me at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:30, and I look at the guy and wave to him. They always wave back and smile back.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I think I say, once in a while, hey, wave to someone else also. So it's fun. We're lucky. We're lucky to be here.
In your words, how do you think, if at all, the medical field, particularly dentistry, has changed since your early days when you just started and now?
It was in the Stone Age when I started. But I think what's happening now, every year, the instrumentation just changes. It becomes fantastic.
Well, technology is definitely advancing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now I must tell you that I'm also an orthodontist. So I know what good orthodontics is, and I want to get back to Bobbi. She's a really great orthodontist. I would send my kids to her.
Wow, that's very honorable.
Yeah, she's a terrific person. And when we talk about smile, you look at her face.
Yeah.
I don't think a day goes by that I don't see her smile.
No, she's always smiling.
Always smiling, and that's what's great about her. She's just a really terrific. She's the quintessential dentist and human being. She cares about other people. We have people who, may not be able to afford to finish the case or something. Dr. Berger, don't worry, I'll take care of it. She's just that kind of person.
Wow, that's really amazing. So do you think that's the difference between yesterday and today, is that you don't find many like her anymore?
No, I'm happy to say they're hard, few and far between to become as in such a package. They're hard to find, but I think we are lucky we have them. And unfortunately, the news, when you turn on the news, all you hear is about the bad kids. You don't hear about the good kids.
Yes.
You know what? There's more good kids than bad kids.
Yeah.
And that's my philosophy. And I'm very lucky that I have the ability to help train some of these folks that are here.
Well, they're lucky to have you as well.
Well, it's good to have both.
Definitely. Well, Dr. Julius Berger, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
It's my pleasure.
I hopefully it's not the last.
So Dr. Joseph, who we're about to see right now, he also has known me as long as Dr. Berger. He is, I think, one of the assistant directors of the general practice residency. Yep. And he's known me just as long for the most part. But the special thing is that he is a graduate of Howard University.
So we're here with Dr. Alfred Joseph, who works along with Dr. Bobbi. And for one, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
I just want to ask you a few questions. Like, what is it like working with Dr. Bobbi, and how long
Well,
have you two knew each other?
I've known Bobbi for quite some time, since 2002. She started out here as a general practice physician. Yeah, before she went to orthodontics. And she was a really dynamic person. She came with a group of other people from Howard University. We had like 4 people from the staff from Howard that year. And it was like a unique thing because usually you don't get everybody from the same school.
Yeah.
And Bobbi came on board, and she was very dynamic, and I liked the way she worked. At that point, we just started orthodontic for her.
Oh, so you guys just opened in 2002?
We opened in 2003, actually.
2003.
She was one of the first.
She was right on time.
One of the first residents in the program.
Wow.
So she did such a great job with us here that we felt that she could handle it. So she went on to the orthodontic program. So
Wow.
she really is a dynamic individual, as you probably know already.
Yes.
I
Amazing
mean,
personality.
She has the best personality of anybody I
agree.
know.
I agree.
And her patients just love her. I mean, that's the main thing. Is I think with anything, she's got great skills as a dentist, but I think her whole thing is that she really gets along with people. That's really the key.
I think
everything.
that's with all business.
It's with all business, but like I said, the service is what's good.
Definitely.
As long as her service is good and her personality is great, that's what really counts.
Yeah.
And I think people have recognized that, and that's what's made her so successful as an orthodontist.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really thank you for your input on Dr. Bobbi and
It's my pleasure because,
Yeah.
like I said, she's been with us for quite some time.
Wow.
And hopefully she'll be with us a lot longer.
And you are what kind of dentistry do you?
Well, I practice general dentistry. I'm actually the director of the general practice program, which is basically a 1-year dental practice program. We get residents that come for 1 year just learning basic dentistry, okay, after dental school. She was one of my people at that time. Like I said, she decided to go on.
You graduated Howard just like...
I graduated Howard also.
And
yes.
what year,
I
if you don't mind me
graduated
asking?
from 1974. I hate to say it.
1974.
That's a long time ago.
Okay.
And
Dr. Julius Berger was 59, I believe. So you guys.
Yeah. So I graduated in 74, and I've been here since about 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. So.
Wow. Wow. Well, it was definitely a pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to
Yes, it's been a pleasure
seeing
meeting
you
with
again.
you.
And
Yes.
I probably will because we're doing some great things with Dr. Bobbi, and I thank you for your input.
Not a problem. I'm glad to do it.
Thank you.
All right.
What goes on here?
This is where I give lectures.
Yeah?
So, yeah. I connect, well actually I go through the computer with my email and my lectures are there. Then they appear up here, and this is where this is why it's so messy. This is where the residents have their lectures, and this is also where they eat lunch and
Oh, so it's
have
multi-purpose.
meetings. Yes.
Oh, for sure.
What you're seeing along the walls,
Ooh,
these are
graphic stuff.
yeah, these are like case presentations that the oral surgeons have. So Kings County, remember I told you I work alongside with the oral surgeons?
Yes.
These are some of the presentations that they've had. This is part of our cleft lip cleft palate. I didn't tell you guys about that, but we have like a whole cleft palate team for the kids that have that. They pretty much make apparatus for them so they can eat. So I don't know if you know this, but if you have a cleft palate, when you're a child, when you're eating, there's no place for the food to stop because there's like a hole at the top of your mouth. So they have to fabricate some sort of apparatus to insert in the mouth so that when they do drink the milk or if they're breastfeeding, whatever, the milk will go down their throat. So we do all kinds of things. These are from different years. I brought you guys in here not to show you that, but to introduce you to Miss Chris. Miss Chris is also.
Hi, how are you?
She is one of the.
Hakeem the Blog, founder of Decade Lifestyle Magazine.
Oh, hi.
Interviewing
Wonderful.
Dr. Bobbi all
Yeah.
Oh, should I
day,
take this off?
going around
Whatever makes you comfortable.
interviewing her staff and different people that she works with
I
as
don't want to
well.
come with this looking sort of.
So there are a ton of assistants, but
Oh,
Miss
wow.
Chris has been here. There are a ton. They
Yeah.
come and go, but Miss Chris has been here since I was a resident. Since before I was a resident.
I'm here 38 years.
Thank you.
Wow.
And this, so
Really?
needless to
Yeah.
say, she's been here since I was a resident in 2003, and
Exactly.
we have a personal relationship. We also have a
38 years,
professional
that's a long
relationship.
time.
Right.
So, what got you into dentistry, and at what age did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Well, I went to Clairvaux Vocational High School, and then they had a
Where's that?
program that's in Brooklyn.
What
It's
section
in
of Brooklyn?
Closkin. It's a Closkin Avenue. I'm not sure what section that is, but it's
Closkin?
in Brooklyn. Closkin.
Is that Flatbush?
I think it's Flatbush,
It's
sort of East
Flatbush.
Flatbush.
Yeah,
I'm
East
sure the
Flatbush area. Yeah.
I went there. It was an all-girls school, and
Wow.
then they had the dental assistant program,
Mhm.
and I was, as a matter of fact, I was the first to get special honors.
Yeah.
When I went there, I just loved dental, the dental work. I loved it. From then on, it's been a grasping future for me.
Wow.
I love dentistry.
That's amazing. It's probably so rewarding to know what you want to do from such an early age and to actually work towards it and fulfill that quest that you had at that young age. It's
Absolutely.
probably really rewarding.
It
So, can you tell us about your experience working with Dr. Bobbi and when the two of you met? And
Well, yes, Dr. Bobbi's been here. I'm quite sure the year, but I've met her. Now it's about probably 15 years, I say more, 15 years or more
okay.
that I've known her. She's a personality. She's a well-rounded young. When I met her, well-rounded young, bright young woman coming in from dentistry. It's amazing. She has a great personality. As far as patients, she's got a great rapport with patients, with children, because she's worked along with regular general dentistry and pediatrics as well. She really is an asset. First of all, young and gifted and black.
Yeah.
Experience that she is.
Yeah.
And for us personal, she's come to my personal affairs. She came to my wedding. And then all around, as a matter of fact, I call her my daughter, Kings County daughter.
Hmm.
Yeah, she is. She's a
Wow.
sweetheart. She really is.
Yes, everyone has nothing but great things to say
Really
about her.
a sweetheart.
And that must be amazing
She is.
to have that legacy where everyone, no matter who you touch, is saying nothing but great things about
Always
you.
nothing but great things about her.
Wow.
Nothing but great, and it's an honor to be here to tell such great things about her. Because I've known her when she was young when she came here. Of course, now it's like, as I said, she's my daughter because she came here when she was very young.
Yeah.
And then now she's aspiring. She got her own office, and I'm so proud of her.
It's definitely a go-getter, doing big things. Well, we thank you for your kind words and your honest words and a little history about you. And where do you see yourself going from here?
Well, I want to retire in 2
You're gonna
years.
retire? I was gonna ask you that. Yeah, that's great. I mean, you're gonna retire at such a youthful age, or youthful appearance.
2 more years is retirement at 65.
2 more years. Wow.
Retirement.
That's amazing. That's very inspiring for I think your siblings and also your kids, if you have. Do you have any?
I have 2 children, and also I'm also a minister, and I do a lot of ministerial
Oh,
work.
really?
So when I leave here, that's what I want to do. I'm going to go back full-time ministry.
So you're just fulfilling everything, fulfilling your career goals, and also fulfilling your personal goals as well. I mean, that must be a huge milestone across to do that.
Yes.
And you're blessed. And it's a pleasure meeting you.
It
And
is certainly a
I'm thankful for
pleasure
meeting you.
meeting you.
Thankful for Dr. Bobbi introducing you to us. And
Thank you.
is there anything you would like to tell our readers and our viewers?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Dr. Bobbi, as far as, in dentistry, I think if you have young people to go to her for orthodontic work, she's the one, because like I said, her personality and young people with dentistry, they don't want to wear the braces, but she makes braces fun. She makes it where it's okay to have braces, that's what it is. And being young and have that great alluring attitude, that fun-filled attitude, because kids, they don't want to wear braces, they figure they're corny, they don't look cool, but she made braces fun. And because a lot of kids now have teeth need braces, so to form in some kind of way, or of course, growing up, the teeth, certain situations happen with their teeth. But I think going to her, I think that it would be such a pleasure and it'd be fun. When I use the word fun, going to her office to be able to work along with her, just to be patient. The word is just fun.
Wow.
Because of her personality, fun.
Wow. Those are such kind words.
She is.
And it's real of you to say those things about her. And it was a pleasure meeting you again.
It certainly is. It was a pleasure. And I hope things go well with both of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So now this is the new place that you're moving to.
Yes.
Looks
Under
great.
construction.
The sign looks a lot better than the other one too.
Thank you. This is going to be the waiting area.
Okay.
Reception desk. This is Mr. Kirk. He makes the magic happen. Say hello.
Oh yeah.
This is
Oh,
going
yeah.
to be the office manager's spaces where all the chairs are going to be.
How you doing?
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Work in progress.
That consultation is going to have the x-ray machines. It's going to be here. The extra chairs are going to be here. This is going to be my office. This is going to be our lab. As you
Wow.
can see.
It's definitely a lot bigger too than the other place.
And then there's a downstairs. That's just one big
And then you have a dining area.
This is where all your work gonna happen.
All my work's going to happen right here.
Yes. The new Dr. Bobbi location.
Yeah.
Not too far away, is it?
Not so far. Find me everywhere. On the internet, on the lab, on the phone, everywhere.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's get out of here.
Well, this is amazing progress, and we'll see the rest of it
Yes.
in about a week.
In
We'll
about
come
a
back
week.
here and we'll see it all done.
Yes.
Okay,
Hopefully.
great. It's
Fingers
been an
crossed.
amazing interview so far, and we're gonna wrap up at your place.
Yes. Let's go back where we
And we're
started.
gonna. So we're back at the residence of Dr. Bobbi. It's been an amazing day and an amazing interview. I mean, I can see why your staff is so, crazy about you, because you have this bubbly, amazing personality, and you have this personality that just draws everyone to you. And it's been a fun day. It wasn't even work. It's been a lot. It's been an amazing day. And I really want to talk about one other thing that we left out, that I've been looking at the whole entire interview, and I haven't mentioned it because I've been waiting just to ask you about your teeth, which is very beautiful. But you have a jewelry here. It's like a diamond, or what is it, Swarovski crystal?
So it's a diamond.
Okay. Can I get a closer look at this?
Yes,
right here?
you can. This is so funny. So
It looks amazing,
the
and it's very unique. I mean, it's I've seen a few people with it, but it's not really, it's not big yet. So you caught it early.
well, I kind of so basically what you're seeing in my mouth is my line of tooth jewelry called oral fixation.
Oral fixation, which we've seen your daughter
Yes, my
wearing
daughter has
earlier
one. She has
in
a
the office.
t-shirt, right?
So is that merch that you're just giving exclusively to your staff, or you're going to be selling that merch as well? or?
We'll see. I usually give them out when I do. 'Cause let me just rewind a second. So I basically started oral fixation about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
About 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
It's my line of tooth jewelry that's non-invasive,
Okay.
meaning a lot of the people that you see on television, you see them with diamonds in their teeth, but they're usually drilled into their mouth
Yeah.
or into the enamel.
Which is not ideal.
I mean, it's all about preference, okay? I like my small stone, and I did not want to damage my tooth, so basically I bond them with the same glue that I use to bond braces with. And it stays for as long as you want it to stay. I tell my patients, do not remove it. If you want it removed, I remove it for free. Haven't had anyone want me to remove it yet. But it's just small and subtle. Like as you said, you didn't even notice I had it. And you've been talking to me all day.
Yeah, I didn't notice until maybe mid interview, and I was like, you know what? I'll wait until the end of the
Right, you
interview to
didn't
ask
mention it
about it.
until-
I didn't, yeah.
Right. So that's basically what it is. So this is
So
another.
how long is the procedure? How long
It
does
takes
it
about
take?
3 minutes.
Oh, so it's really quick.
Yeah, it takes about 3 minutes.
So the volume I can imagine will, if not high now, it will, eventually will be really high if it's that quick.
So it's really popular down south. So I used to,
Okay.
when I first came out with organization, I used to do beauty shows, like Warner Brothers show. I've done some shows in Houston. I've gone to some tattoo parlors like Pretty and Ink.
Yeah.
My girl Duchess. I taught her staff how to place these. So now there's oral fixation at Duchess's shop in Charlotte, and they love it down there. So when I do the shows, I place them at the shows. They love them. So I have like shears. I have Greek alphabet. I have zodiac signs. I did my first custom piece because my jeweler is so dope. So I did my first custom piece for Fetty Wap's management company.
Oh wow.
So his manager has 4 pieces. They're pretty big, but I mean it's all about preference.
Yeah.
He still has them on his teeth right
Yeah?
now. Yes. I
So
think
he has, what does he have exactly
he
on
has
his teeth?
their logo. I
Yeah.
think it's RGF Productions with like a palm tree.
Yeah.
He has 4 of them on all of his canines.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was my first custom piece. So I have a jeweler that can make
Anything.
just about anything. Because it has to be 2 sized. So
Yeah.
it has to be really, really small. So we can
But
do
it's
anything.
subtle and it's not gaudy, but it's right. It's just right,
Right.
from my opinion.
Yeah, it
You know?
depends. It's all about preference. If you want it
Yeah.
bigger, I can make it bigger. If you want it smaller, I can make it smaller. But that's just what I do.
That's great. And this is something that's going to be advertised on your website.
Yes, it's advertised on my website right now.
Please tell our viewers and our readers what your website is so they can find you.
It's allthingsdrbobby.com. My email, allthingsdrbobby. My Instagram, allthingsdrbobby.
Very consistent with the branding.
pretty simple.
Yes. So one other thing. I mean, we ventured on into your past, and we've really talked a lot about your past with you and your staff. So I really got to see that everything pretty much matched up from what you said and what your staff have said. It was pretty consistent. And we talked about what you're doing now, and what does the future hold for Dr. Bobbi?
Well, as you guys saw a little earlier, I'm moving my Brooklyn office.
Okay.
We didn't talk too much about my North office.
No.
I've partnered with a pediatric dentist for a huge, beautiful practice downtown Newark, which is where I'm from, called Dental Kids.
Newark is just like Brooklyn is gentrified as well. It's a lot of
downtown,
changes.
right? Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
we're planning on expanding that practice as well. I think for me, other than moving my Brooklyn office to the Rutland Road location, I'm thinking of opening maybe a practice in Queens, having an Aces Braces in Queens.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried the Manhattan thing, and it's just not me. I mean, seriously, I have the opportunity to put my practice anywhere in New York. Like, let's not even play around.
Yeah.
Like, I have the opportunity to place it anywhere, but
Why not Manhattan?
um,
Aside from the fact that it's not you, why not? Just for
I'm
the
trying to
people
make
that are thinking at home, why doesn't she want to reach the people of Manhattan, at the heart of New York City?
I would like to go where I feel that I'm needed most. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I just
So
want
it's
to go
just
where,
like
where I
you're
feel
killing
like
two
my
birds
people
with one
need to see
stone.
me.
You're making a living, and you're also giving back to your community.
Absolutely.
That's a great answer, and it's an honorable answer. It's well respected, and any last words for the people at home and the people that are viewing right now?
I guess I could say that Instagram is like the most powerful social network right now.
Definitely,
right?
that's definitely a fact.
Right. So what I love doing right now at this point in my career is mentoring younger females, males, white, black, whoever that want to get into my field. So what I would say is go ahead and DM me. Send me some DMs. Let me guide you through the process. Let me tell you about my experiences on a one-on-one basis. Initially, I was a little reluctant to do that because my DMs were going crazy, but
Nuts.
you know what? I do have about 10 mentees right now. And it's really, really dope. Like, they ask me really, really great questions that I'm actually about to start putting on my...
What was one of the most memorable DMs that you've gotten from the public, from someone that
Not
you
from
that
the
you
public.
that,
I won't repeat that.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean, from someone that you don't know at all, but I guess wanted some guidance, or they wanted to work with you, or like what is one of the most memorable DMs that you've gotten that really just touched you?
Okay, it's one of the mentees that I have right now. I won't say her name. She's underage. I think she's like 16 right now.
Okay.
She basically just described a little bit of her background, and she said that she's from the hood, and she's from down south. I won't say place or whatever. And she just feels like there's no way out for her.
Wow.
But she says she's always gotten good grades.
She looked up to you.
Not just to me, because she didn't really know me. All she saw was the pictures I had with celebrities and things like that. And my response to her was,
"You're an inspiration."
Yes, but the thing is, I'm from the same place she's from. Like, there would have been no way for her to know that had she not reached out to me. So I responded to her right well as soon as I got it.
And then she gave you a DM. For those of you that may not know what a DM is, and Instagram is a direct message on Instagram where it's not public. You can send a private message. And one of her followers on Instagram, social media networking site, sent a DM or a direct message to her, and she was an inspiration.
Right. I've been in contact with her regularly.
Well, still to this day.
Well, yeah, like every other week or so, like I just reach out to her, and what I did was I responded to her and gave her a little bit of my background. Like, I'm from Newark.
Yeah.
I'm from Newark.
That's the inner city of New Jersey.
I'm not from a privileged family. Like, my parents didn't have money. Like, there were 8 of us. Like, I know what it's like to be in
You're,
a two-bedroom
you're,
apartment with a
you're
bunch of kids.
basically a first generation success, if you will.
Sort of.
You know, well,
They're just a lot of us. so I feel her where you know everything's successful. Like it's not easy. You know what I mean? And the best thing you can do is actually to get like a really good mentor. So that's why I would want to be that for people that want to do what I do, or if I can like give back even more than I already do. If I can actually have a one-on-one conversation with her, like I did, and inspire her to keep pushing and stay strong. Like if you don't have that motivation, I can be that motivation for you, or I'll try to.
wow, that's amazing. Well,
Yeah, that was my most
it's been an amazing journey with you today, Dr. Bobbi, and I really enjoyed interviewing you, and I wish you continued success and nothing but the best.
Thank you so much.
And cheers to that. Cheers to longevity.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you guys for being with us.